Coming to you live from my motherfucking house. Apartment. Home. I might as well just say home. Alright. It's the main character. It's the flyest around. Fly Guy Kai. Captain. I I want to do more of anime centered thing today. Normally I do like a multitude of things, but I just want to do some anime stuff. And I had the idea of right, anime I've watched. Okay, now I did the count, 258 plus, and I put the plus because it's 2024, and we haven't gotten through 2024 yet. So I'm always going to add on to the list. Not only that, I think some of the anime that I've seen, I still got to put movies in there because that's 258 without counting movies. I still got to put movies in there. Like Red Line. If you haven't seen Red Line, it's on Hulu. Phenomenal. Very, very dope. I like how they drew it and everything. So Red Line and I think Red Nine, Your Name, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, stuff like that. That's why I got the plus. But what I'm going to do, because I did a pretty good job. So I want to say the anime I watched, right? I was going on like a organizer thing. What I did was I organized the anime I've watched by year they came out. So what I'm going to do is pick the best one that grabbed my attention to me out of that year, that really grabbed my attention. And of course, I got the top 10s. The top 10s, this little border I got, you see the top 10s. The only ones whose face is covered. This one from Iron Blooded Orphans, of course, Full Metal Alchemist, Free Ren, otherwise than that. Those, and you know what? Are some of those in the same year? I don't know. But there are some where like they came in the same year. And I wonder if I can let me try to dual screen it. Now that I can start this up again. I thought I was recording the whole time. All right, so I'm gonna say the year, the anime, like when they actually premiered, which one, like not to say that I watched it when it premiered, but which one kind of like has me the most. I did this thinking that I was recording it and it was just like, oh nah, you ain't talking to me. All right. So 1971, Lupin the Third Part 1. 1977, Lupin the Third Part 2. 1984, Lupin the Third Part 3. 1986, Dragon Ball. 1988, Ronin Warriors, if you know, you know. 89, of course, Dragon Ball Z. Even if anything else came out, it was going to be Dragon Ball Z. 92, Sailor Moon, and Yu Yu Hakusho is Yu Yu Hakusho all day. 1994, Mobile Suit Fighter G Gundam. 1995, out of Mobile Suit Gundam Wing and Street Fighter 2V. Street Fighter 2V. Go watch it if you know. 1996, you got Case Closed and you got Dragon Ball GT Ronin Kenshin. Dragon Ball GT, baby. 97, Pokemon. 1998, you have Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040, Card Captor Sakura, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Trigun, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Cowboy Bebop is in my top 10, but the one that had me in clutches, in the that Yu-Gi-Oh! Right there, because that's the one that had, you know, that original run of Yugi, that reign of Yugi and Yami Yugi. I chose Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course. 1999, you had Digimon Adventure, Metabots, One Piece, Zoid's Chaotic Century. I got the Metabots and Zoid's Chaotic Century out of there. But man, when I tell you, I'm not the only one. Okay. When I say this, right, wholeheartedly, but One Piece, I fell off. I would always go back, try to watch it, and it would fall off. But the day that I stuck through with it, okay. One that had me out the gates, Digimon Adventure. You had Pokemon, and then all of a sudden, you had people that had things that looked like Pokemon, but they were super tall, and they could keep evolving into stuff. And you could only have one. You could only have one. It was assigned to you. And you had a special connection with it. And it talked. Come on now. And I had the Tamagotchi Digimon stuff, dog. This nerdom runs deep. 2000. Y2K, baby. Digimon Adventure 2, Inuyasha, and Fooly Cooly. Fooly Cooly was weird, but I had to get it out of here. And it was a good kind of weird, too. This was when Adult Swim was starting to show anime. That was kind of, and they were trying to more so go to Toonami. And Digimon Adventure 2, though it was cool, it was part of like the movie that had came out later on. Nothing gets you like Inuyasha, especially hearing that ending, you know that you messed up. If you closed your eyes and you heard that ending when you woke up, you missed your whole Saturday night of nerd bliss. 2001, what came out? Baki the Grappler, Beyblade, Cyborg 009, Digimon Tamers, which was arguably the best Digimon that ever came out by everyone. Digimon Tamers is the best one. Prince of Tennis, Rave Master, S. Cried, which is one of my gatekeepers. S. Cried, if you don't know, go check it out. It's like they had stands, but different versions. And Zoe's New Century. Most of that I got out of there. The battle with me was between Beyblade and Digimon Tamers. And it was Beyblade. Because Tyson and the boys, man. And what they did with BitBleeds, it was spinning tops. It was supposed to be just spinning tops. And they turned it into something magnificent. And Baki the Grappler was cool. That was one I kind of had to go back to because I kind of fell off. Went back. Beyblade never fell off. Digimon Tamers, I had never fell off. Don't get me wrong. But Beyblade was the one. If I had to choose 3 out of this one, it's Beyblade, Digimon Tamers, and believe it or not, S. Cried. S. Cried is still my favorite. I can still watch it to this day. 2002, you had Digimon Frontier, which is my favorite Digimon. I know it's not the best one, but it's my favorite. Duel Masters, which is fire. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. Man. I'm going to do a rewatch of that. Hackensign, Mega Man NT Warrior, which was cool because they did a spin on Mega Man, but he was like a hacking tool kind of thing. He was an avatar, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, which was cool. Naruto, come on, man. And then Transformers Armada, which was a fire Transformers. You haven't seen it and you like Transformers now, go watch that one. I think it still holds up. To this day. But of course I chose Naruto. Even though it, not just to say because it's in my top 10, but come on, it's Naruto. Now, if I had to choose 3, it'd be Naruto, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, Digimon Frontier. From 2003, you had the Big O, fire, Bruce Wayne with a mech, Bobo, so stupid. Full Metal Alchemist. IGPX, the Immortal Grand Prix. I think that's what it stood for. Ninja Scroll, Wolf's Rain, which was dope. Zatch Bell, which people slept on, but that is my shit till this day. And Zoids Futures. I fell off of Zoids after that point. I still watched it, but it wasn't nothing too special. You know what? This wasn't really that hard, but I still had to think about it because, again, Zatch Bell is my shit. I chose Full Metal Alchemist out of that one. But if I choose 3, Full Metal Alchemist, Zatch Bell, the Big O. Now, let's get to 2004. I already know what I'm choosing. But 2004. What came out? What premiered in that year that I watched? Battle Beat 'em On, which was pretty much trash. They were trying to capitalize on like trying to create toy animes. Bleach. Come on now. Ichigo Kurosaki. Ichigo Kurosaki solos anyone out of the big three. Solos. Doesn't matter. Solos. He's a Soul Reaper. Skip the substitute shit. They were just putting that like, oh, you know, I mean, there's a professional Soul Reaper assigned to your town. No, this dude is a Soul Reaper, aka Shinigami, aka Death. Death. The Grim Reaper. You can't beat Death. And not to mention if Death has a cool blade and a transformation that makes him even more Death. And then Ichigo is he's part Soul Reaper, part Quincy, part Hollow. What are we talking about? Elfen Lied. Elfen Lied was fire. Paranoid Agent was nuts, but it was still intriguing. Samurai 7, Samurai Champloo. That's to me, that's one of the best openings. That's top, if not top 10, top 20 definitely. Transformers Energon, which was still cool, and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was a good successor. It was a good follow-up. I will say that. It was a good follow-up. It was cool. I didn't really have a problem. The only one I was like, was not really. It was gonna be Bleach. I can't even lie to you. It was gonna be Bleach. If I had to choose three, it'd be Bleach, Samurai Champloo, and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Samurai Champloo is absolutely fire, always and forever. 2005, Blood Plus, Iruka 7, Gunsword, Guyver, which Guyver had this type of like, it was almost like Kamen Rider. Mare. Mare was the one where like he had like this magic talking hammer, and it was a whole nother thing. Listen, I've watched a whole bunch of anime. For me, it's gonna be Eureka 7. Eureka 7. Renton and the Nirvage. And they was surfing on energy in mechs. And they was like whiplashing in air with the lasers and dog. Fire. If I did have to choose three out of this, it would be Ruka 7, Blood Plus, and Mare. I think this was Martian something romance. I forgot what it's the word. And Blood Plus, that was the joint because she was like this. It was like a vampirish creatures that only she could slay with her blood. And then you come to find out, like, you know, she's, of course, you come to find out she's special. But you come to find out she's really special. Real bad. The anime that came out, now this one I like. The anime that came out in 2006. Okay, it premiered in 2006. These are the ones I watched and I gotta choose it. I'm telling you right now. You got Air Gear, which is fire. I'm mad they didn't finish it. Because Air Gear was tough. The shit they could do with mechanized roller skates was fire. And yeah, there was jokes here and there, but come on. Buso Rankin was a cool anime. Code Geass, dog. Lelouch v Britannia was going to get his get back by any means necessary, whoever he had to use to ensure that Nonali would get the future she needed. And this one's gonna be harder than I thought. What? Oh, that's because I left that open. I was like, the fuck's trying to get into mine? Code Geass, D Gray Man, which D Gray Man was cool. The concept was kind of cool. Death Note, Light Yagami. I seen some people say that Light Yagami should have won. It would have made like a cool ending. I could see that. I can see it. But boy, once he once Light knew your name, that was your ass. Okay, that was he got you. He couldn't wait to get L's name. He couldn't wait to, yeah, buddy. Man, Digimon Data Squad. Digimon Data Squad was cool. They tried to turn Digimon into like a Power Rangers esque organization type thing. Okay. Fate Stay Night. Fate Stay. Listen, man. Listen. Fate Stay Night. You don't talk about good and like animation. Really. Let me look back. Animation was already getting good in the late '90s. It was really getting good with Fate Stay Night. Hamtaro. I put Hamtaro up there because I used to catch it in the mornings. So, you know. Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple. He was cool. Oban Star Racers. It was weird how they drew the characters. It was still kind of cool. Hitman Reborn. I swear, people slept on this. I finished it and the anime didn't really finish, but I read the manga after it was done. That's how dope Hitman Reborn was to me. And Suna was like, to see Suna go from the cowardly, like, you call it weakling, like the cowardly weakling he was with, like, not that, he didn't have it in him. He didn't have that fire. To him literally bringing that fire out through, like, everything he goes through. And usually he had, like, what was it? The dying will bullet that, Reborn would hit him with, and that would bring out his cooler personality or his energetic personality. And then he got to the point where he could will that fire out, and the power sets they had was dope. Definitely dope. The real battle for me, Hitman Reborn is a third for anything. The real battle for me was between Death Note and Code Geass, and Code Geass gets, because I could rewatch that over and over again. Code Geass, honestly for me, is Code Geass, Hitman Reborn, then Death Note. Because Death Note was cool in the concept that he did, but Hitman Reborn had dope ass fight scenes. If you don't know, go check it out or just look up random fight scenes for Hitman Reborn. 2007, which came out. Alright, we got Afro Samurai, Bakugan Battle Brawlers, which was fly. Okay, when you needed another toy hit, something that would catch on like Beyblades, nothing caught on like Bakugan Battle Brawlers. Especially the little mechanic they had where like the cards had some magnetic thing in it, so that when you rolled it over it, they would actually pop out like on the. That was fire. Blue Dragon was dope. Art by Art Designs by Akira Toriyama. Claymore, which another anime that I'm gonna start making some lists. Another anime that didn't get a chance to finish, but it was so good. One scene where one of their peoples turned into a monster, and she gave him a faint. She was like, "Yo, well, I got control of my body and my urges. Just hurry up, come over and kill me before it's too late." Somebody tried to swing the sword, and she's gotcha. Like yo, and it was so dope how fast she got rid of that person. Man. Oh, I didn't see that. Damn. Gurren Lagann. Simone the Digger. Man, what was that scene? Don't believe in yourself. What was it? Don't believe in yourself. just believe in the me that believes in you. That's what he said to him. Because Simone didn't have that type of courage to do certain things. But Kamina believed in Simone. And Simone, he was saying, that's the drill that's gonna pierce the heavens, dog. He's like, listen, even if you don't believe in yourself, believe in me because I believe in you. So believe in me that believes in you. And that in turn, it like, come on, man. And this was, I think this was just 25 episodes. And it captured so much. Hero Tales, which was cool. Mobile Suit Gundam 00, which like I don't know how to describe it. It was dope. Naruto Shippuden. Tokyo Majin, get out of here. Blue Dragon, respectfully. Bakugan Battle Brawlers, respectfully. Claymore Hero Tales, go ahead, get out of here. This is a 3-way brawl between Afro Samurai, which was the first black anime. The character didn't look like a minstrel show character. It was Afro Samurai. He had a dope afro that like flew in the wind in a weird way. He was kicking ass. He had the number 2 headband and was always having to defend it. And he had to keep defending it until he was able to get to the number 1 headband who killed his father. And of course, Gurren Lagann, like I said, dog. Simone the Digger. This is my top 10. But this ain't about my top 10. This is about what, you know what I mean? Because you got Naruto Shippuden. And mind you, Naruto Shippuden expounded on the whole Jinchuuriki thing. Because not only that, it expounded on, but it continued to show you like, yo, Sasuke left the village. It showed you how far Sasuke had went. Even in the first part, they showed you how far Sasuke was going to complete his goal. And even in his completing his goal, because he was thinking one way, he finds out the truth and has got like, yo, like my whole life was turned upside down. It's turned upside down again. Naruto was not giving up on Sasuke. It didn't matter what you said. It didn't matter who he was going after. It didn't matter who he tried to kill. That was his brother. May not have been his brother by birth, but it was his brother, no doubt. That was his friend. That was his teammate. Listen, I'm not going to give up on you. I'm going to try to talk no jutsu you until you're blue in the face. Even when Sasuke wasn't trying to hear it. Man, Naruto was still adamant, still at it. Dog. It was fire. It brought out the peoples a little bit. Especially Mike Guy. And then this was when YouTube was 2007, like YouTube was like still in the early stages. And people would put the anime episodes in 3 parts on YouTube. This is where Rick Roll came in because that shit would piss you off. It was like, oh, new Naruto episode, and you clicked it. Do. People like that song now because of that though. So, but dog. All right. Let's think about this. This is and this is not Afro Samurai 2. This is Afro Samurai. I don't think I put the second one up on here neither. I have to. You had the first black. You had the first black. You had the first black anime that it didn't look crazy. The black person didn't look crazy, and that's all we've been asking for is representation. Gurren Lagann, dog, the team that he met along the way, the people he met along the way that really came to not just be team but family, and then for that family to go on and actually do what they say and then find out what they did was kind of like messing things up, but he still went above. And when I tell you that Team Daiguren went above and beyond, they had a universal battle. Not in like, oh man, this is like a, in the grand scheme of things, this is a no. Legit, he was in a mech that was pretty much the size of like bigger than galaxies. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, in that last battle, they were tossing galaxies between him and the antagonist. And Naruto Shippuden, like I said, man, Aruka Sensei. This had me looking for, man. I'm hovering over. As much as I like Afro Samurai, like the real ones that had me, because I'm not gonna like Gurren Lagann. Even after all he went through, Gurren Lagann at the end, little tear came out for Simo. Cause of what, man. Naruto Shippuden was cool. Naruto Shippuden was fire. People didn't like the ending. I can understand that. Kind of, you know what I mean. But Naruto, from learning Rasengan to achieving what he did with the Rasengans, man. Nah, I gotta go with Naruto Shippuden. I gotta go with Naruto Shippuden. To be honest with you, Naruto Shippuden had me. But if I choose three, it'd be Naruto Shippuden, Gurren Lagann, and Afro Samurai, without a doubt. What came out in 2008? 2008, Casher and Sins. Casher and Sins was a dark fire story. He couldn't remember nothing, but he just kept having to fight robots, and he just knew that people were after him. He had like this bounty on him, and he was trying to figure it out, and it was just getting to him. I know. Certain Magical Index was cool. Soul Eater, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds brought the return of cool back, but I'm gonna give the Soul Eater. It's not too much of a thought. Soul Eater's just fire. 2009, right? This was the gatekeeper for me, Basquash. Basquash was mechs doing basketball. And if I remember correctly, it was 3v3. Mechs doing basketball. One of the coldest people, literally the coldest people. His name was Iceman Hottie. But Basquash was dope. Basquash, Beyblade Metal Fusion. It was keeping the Beyblade name strong. It was cool. Fairy Tail. Natsu Dragneel. Natsu, Lucy, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was the actual, like, keeping up. I don't know why this thing, like, does that. I gotta put my hand in front of it so that way it focuses. But Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood followed the manga this time. They had already completed Full Metal Alchemist. And they said, you know what? Let's do it again. But let's actually follow. Now the manga's complete, let's follow it. Sometimes they'll make animes and sometimes they'll complete it. If they don't like put filler or nothing in it, they'll complete it before the mangaka gets a chance to complete it. And then whether they want to redo the whole thing and actually follow the manga, you know, per se, it's up to them. But that the characters they introduced more into Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it's fire. You know, honestly, to me, it's gonna be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Needless was crazy. Needless, of course, it was one of those things where some type of mysterious thing happened in Japan, a couple of areas, but I think this one followed Tokyo more so. There was like this giant black bubble that happened, and the outside people stayed away from it, but the inside people that were in there, kind of gained some type of superpowers. And the main character had this power where he could mimic other people's powers. Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. It was just like a story of what happens after 8.2 earthquake in Tokyo, and Valkyria Chronicles. Valkyria Chronicles, I'm not gonna hold you. If I'm not mistaken, that was my first introduction to strategy games, because Valkyria Chronicles, the game, just like the anime though, but you were following this platoon of army people as they were fighting against, fighting against the opposition. But the way that you would do it is you had to move, like strategy games. You move characters to a certain spot. If you put them in cover, then it decreases the chance of damage, or the person misses you all the time. You got to plan out where you want to put stuff. You had a tank that you could use. Like it was definitely good. Especially the anime. Anime kept true to the game, but it's Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. If I choose three, honestly for me, if I choose three, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Fairy Tail, Bat Squash, without a doubt. 2010, Digimon Fusion, Durara, Hero Man, and High School of the Dead. High School of the Dead had me dying sometimes because of the way that between the way that the zombies were dying, how ridiculous some of this shit was, the booby mechanics in this anime was so detailed. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Hero Man was dope. Durara had like a weird type of story to it. Like it's kind of like complex or all over the place, one or two. But Digimon Fusion, I watched it, but that was when Digimon kind of started falling off a little bit. Hero Man was an anime that Stan Lee had worked on in conjunction with somebody, and it was cool. The dude, he had a Hero Man toy, mysterious lightning. Somebody opens a portal and like these bugs come out, but then also he has the Hero Man doll that actually transforms into like a smaller mech type superhero Hero Man, and the boy could control it with the glove. It was like a fictional Las Vegas or something like that. High School of the Dead, it was one of those times where it came out. It was like, oh, this is kind of fire. I'm going High School of the Dead. Okay. 2011. What came out 2011 that I watched? Blue Exorcist, fire. You find out the main character is actually son of Satan. So not only does he have to hide this, because he has the same blue flames that kind of killed priests and around the world, but he has the goal of killing Satan. But he enrolls in a school that his twin brother teaches. So yes, two kids of Satan. They both are raised by a priest. I won't say what happened, but raised by priests, try to follow in his footsteps to become these exorcists. Dead Man Wonderland, I had just did a thing on TikTok about it. Dead Man Wonderland, old buddy's chilling. Somebody comes, wipes his whole classroom out except for him, and like implants this crystal that gives him powers. He finds out those powers when he's locked away in something called Dead Man Wonderland, which is like a cell for in Tokyo, which is like a cell for criminals, but they put him through like contests, and they have like secret underground battle clubs and stuff. So it was definitely fire. Fate Zero. Listen, the one thing Fate ain't gonna do, they ain't gonna miss on no animation. Future Diary was cold because Future Diary was just like these people competing to like kill each other. But they had these phones that were able to like, I'm trying to remember if it was like it was something like they had already like lived the timeline or something like that, and they were able to get access to certain things, like certain messages in their phone that was kind of telling particular parts of the future. So that's why they call it future diary, and that would help them out when they were doing the whole contest. Cause I think the winner got whatever wish from like this like god of that world that they wanted. Listen, Hunter x Hunter, you ain't gotta talk to me about Hunter x Hunter, okay? Hunter x Hunter, your boy gone. What he gave in that end, was it worth it? Yes, it was. To get your get back, yes. Steins Gate. Steins Gate was so fucking confusing. I don't even know if I want to go back and try that again. I was watching it. Sometimes I would fall asleep. I would wake up. Tiger and Bunny. Tiger and Bunny was definitely dope. Once it came out, and like, I didn't discover it till 2014, but it released in 2011. However, Tiger and Bunny, it was certain people had superpowers, and when they were they called Next? I think they were called Next. And when they had superpowers, they had a chance to go to a specific city that housed people who had those, and the superheroes that would be big names were actually like always filmed whenever they would do you know what I mean, take down criminals. And that would garner some like points that would go towards like popularity, and they would have sponsors too that whenever they wore their superhero outfits would get like sponsor deals, so the sponsor to see would get them money. And you find out this guy is like Tiger and Bunny sort of have the same kind of power, except Bunny has a better power set. I think Tiger's is kind of declining a little bit. I think he was one of the rare ones that like his power was actually going through a decline, but it was the first team. That's why the Tiger and Bunny, because usually people did it solo, but these were the first duo teams. And it was a dope concept. It was almost like My Hero Academia before My Hero Academia. I mean, of course, out of these ones, I'm gonna pick Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter had me. If I have to choose three, it's Hunter x Hunter, Blue Exorcist, and Tiger and Bunny. I was looking at Dead Man Wonderland for a minute. Fate Zero is dope, but it's just, I don't care. 2012. I didn't know it was gonna be this much. I didn't know. No, I still gotta. I'm trying to fix this shit. Whatever. What time is it? It's 3:08. It's Sunday. Whatever. Excel World, Aquarion Evil, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood, and Battle Tendency. Kuroko's Basketball, Magi, Psycho Pass. Yo, Sword Art Online too, and Zetman. Zetman was like a cool transformation thing. How he was taking out certain these creatures. Sword Art Online, Sword Art Online. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Sword Art Online brought the isekai genre and skyrocketed. Because in a way, it was the isekai genre. It was a video game, but it was a fantasy video game that they were stuck in until they found a way out. That had me on the edge of my seat, like, wait, what? They're trapped in a video game? How are they gonna get out? Like, oh, they can't remove the headgear, or they're gone. If they die in the game, they're gone in real life. If power goes out, you're gone. Like, yo. In JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I'll give you that. Boy, Phantom Blood, when you see Dio and keep showing up in these things, you see like how he started out as one of the biggest haters in anime history. One of the biggest haters. Battle Tendency, Hamon, like the introduction of Hamon was, it was still pretty cool, don't get me wrong. Battle Tendency wasn't like, it ain't had a, no, it still had some sauce, but you know where JoJo's Bizarre Adventure got sauce at. It was after these two. I won't put it as high. It's still interesting. Kuroko's Basketball, It's not. You know, it's not even between those. And Psychopaths was fire. You had a gun that, if it found you guilty, you were able to shoot the person. And some of the criminals were so good at how they mapped their psyche that the gun would be like, nah, you can't kill them. They're innocent. Like, what? Shoot. Can't do it. They're innocent. Can't do it. They're innocent. Override. Can't do it. Yo. Dog, it was crazy. The real thing, it was between Maggie and SAO for me, because Maggie, or Magi, or however you want to call it, Alibaba, Aladdin, and all of them. It was a dope world that they kind of fleshed out, and it was a dope experience. You know what? I'm gonna give it to SAO. I know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is cool, but SAO had it for me. Even the second one, because it still, that second season after the first one, his girl was still trapped. She was still trapped. Still had to figure out a way to free her. It was a lot. The third, and then even them, like, this boy Kirito was just, you would think someone had PTSD, like, yo, I don't feel like putting this gear on again. I don't ever want to get stuck like that. He was still put on the gear, going into different types of games, and still doing what he do best, kick ass. If I have to choose three, it's gonna be Sword Art Online, Maggie, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I put both of them together because they kind of is back to back. What came out in 2013? Y'all are gonna be mad at me. Attack on Titan, Danganronpa, Kill la Kill, Tokyo Ravens. Tokyo Ravens, you can get out of here. It was like it was an okay thing. Kill la Kill. Kooky Cool. Nah, I won't put that up there. Honestly, it'll be Attack on Titan, because, dog, they were legit taking down these human-sized titans with move gear, ODS gear, and these two blades, and just like doing the most, becoming spinning tops themselves to cut out slices of neck like steak. I won't sleep on Danganronpa. I won't sleep on Kill la Kill, definitely, because it had cool, and like the animation was like special. The concept was but special. Danganronpa was dope, and I binged that in one night. I think this was during college, and I had off the next day. I binged it. I stayed up till like 5 a.m. from 8 the previous day. Excuse me, till like 5 a.m. I could not. Like, it was that good because of the concept. Because the kids were locked in this school, and it was like this little teddy bear thing that kind of was the stand-in for something. And the only way to get out was for one person to survive. And each of the kids had to, like, you had to get rid of one of the kids. And then when somebody found the body or something, then everybody had to come together and figure out who did it. And if you could, what was it? If you could get away with it, I think if you could get away with it, then you were good. I gotta go back and watch it, because I think if you got away with it, then the person that was accusing someone would go. And if you didn't get away with it, you would go. But they would, if you were deemed the killer, the teddy bear would find a special way to get rid of you, like put you on a t-shirt. I would go check it out. Now, 2014, and we got like 10 more years. Yo, this is a lot. All right, what came out in 2014? Akame ga Kill, Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, which is beautiful. Garo, the Carved Seal of Flames. When I ran into this, oh nah, this one got it. This one got the hard choices. All right, Fate Stay Night, Garo, Haikyuu, The regular at Magic High School, it was that relationship he has with his sister is weird. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders was the one that everyone hopped on, that introduced Stan's hating ass Dio. This is a world though. Marvel Disc Wars, No Game No Life. Another one. I don't know what's going on, but these weird brother sister type these weird brother sister type things. It's super weird. I gotta play some in the background too, guys. Noragami, which is cool. Parasite was fire. Let me just say that. Aliens come down. One of them usually they take over the host, and then that's how they start to, you know what I mean? Kill people along the way. The host he was taking out just happened to wake up at the time that old buddy was trying to take over him, and then they kind of get this relationship going, and it turns into something else. But it's definitely fire. Rage of the Bahamut. Rage of the Bahamut. Let me see if I can turn it on. Rage of the Bahamut. It's cool. Seven Deadly Sins was fire. That first season. Come on now. Meliodas. Soul Eater not. Continuation after Soul Eater. It was okay. Space Dandy. Space Dandy was like this like quirky space adventure that was cool. Sword Art Online Season 2. I do like sometimes when they stand out enough, I like to separate them. So, Tokyo ESP. Never mind. I gotta think about this one because I forgot about that. Tokyo Ghoul came out in 2014, and World Trigger came out. World Trigger, I'm rewatching World Trigger now, and I'll tell you what, World Trigger is actually pretty solid. World Trigger, and I was like, man, it don't look like it's finished, and it wasn't, because I watched the original 75 episodes. They had 2 more seasons after that. I think each of them had like 12 episodes, or one had 12, one had 13. But what's my choices? We can get most of that out of here. It's really between Seven Deadly Sins, Parasite, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Haikyuu. And Akame got killed. Damn. That's what I'm saying in the beginning. Like, yo, as years go on, more anime was getting pushed out. It was getting more popular. So more mangakas got inspired. They want to make their own. They got it out there. The list was growing. In release years, I thought this is the one that had me in a chokehold, but I think it was 2018. All right, we can get rid of Kame Got Killed. Not that easy, but we can get rid of Parasite. Get rid of Seven Deadly Sins was fire. That first season was good, but we can get rid of that. It's between JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Haikyuu. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders. Not only that, but they had cool names for some of their stands. And they had, quirky little poses and shit. Alright, 2015, what we got? I didn't think we were gonna have this many. And just to point this out, Dragon Ball Super came out 2015. And it was just like, oh snap, Dragon Ball Z's back out. Yo. Oh, what we got? Oh yeah, and Godzilla -1 came out. Something. I'm gonna turn that down though. And if I'm not mistaken, Godzilla came out. All right. 2015. What we got? We got Assassination Classroom. Oh, buddy said he was going to destroy the world at a certain time and teaching kids how to accurately try to kill him. The ending was nice. Ending was a very cool touch. Blood Blockade Battlefront, baby. You want to talk about animation? Blood Blockade Battlefront got some great animation. And it's like blood-bending power that they got. That each one of them has to do like different stuff. Somebody does stuff with ice, sealing. One person can like make constructs out of it. He made a whole like venom symbiote. The main character has like they think the all-seeing eyes. Like it. Blood Blockade Battlefront. It's cool. Dragon Ball Super is Dragon Ball. Listen, Dragon Ball Super is cool because it's, I think, part nostalgia because it's nice to see Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? Dragon Ball Z again or Dragon Ball Super. I mean, it's nice to see Dragon Ball out there. But it's just, after a while, it's just becoming like Power Rangers with the hair colors, and there's cool fight scenes, but it's not like Dragon Ball Z. I choose Dragon Ball GT over Dragon Ball Super. That's another hill I will die on all day. Gangsta was cool, and they definitely spelled it like that. Gate, another one of them things, portal opens, they go inside with modern weaponry in a fantasy world. Ghost in the Shell Arise. I like it because it's Ghost in the Shell, but at the same time. Lupin, I put Loopy. Let me go ahead and change it. Lupin the Third Part 4. This was cool. I like Lupin a lot. Hold on, we gonna get past that. You know what? I think I already know what I want. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. Let me tell you something about Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. All right, you want to talk about, first of all, the main character. You want to talk about Ugg, and the main character was a number 2. He was like a co-captain. He was the gunman. He was the one where because they were all, seeing each other as brothers. If the leader, if he was like, yo, take him out. The main character, not even, why do we have to do that? What does this solve? No facial change, just straight face, just, okay. And for the best co-captains or best number 2s, it's a tie between him and Zoro. Change my mind. One Punch Man, the concept is so fire because it literally takes him one punch to defeat mostly. Like, he's so strong. He went hard, and he was like, yo, I did 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 5-kilometer run. He's like, I did that every day, and he lost his hair, but he's the strongest. Yeah, they treat him as a C-level hero, but he's literally the strongest. That only takes him one punch. Like a concept out of nowhere, to the point where it's like, yo, who wins, Superman or One Punch Man? And it depends on the writer. Just like Stan Lee always says, it depends on the writer. Overlord, which the guy stays in the server after the game shuts down and the world kind of keeps going on. That game world keeps going on, but he, differentiates. Seraph of the End. Is that what I'm thinking about? With the vampires? Vampires were kind of like having humans in these different type of holding shells, and you had a group that was trying to fight against them. Ushino Totoro. It was a team. A boy who discovers like a spear that was holding a demon down, and there were these demons being released, and they worked together to try and the thing that was dope to me was that I found out, like, yo, the Nine-Tailed Fox is like it wasn't just a Naruto thing. It was like, it's an actual thing from like Japanese lore, like a Nine-Tailed Fox thing, and it was kind of going after that. That was dope. I'm not gonna hold you. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. If I choose 3, it's this one first. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. It's Blood Blockade Battlefront for my second. I won't even hold you. You know what? Nah, I can't even do that. Dragon Ball Super is my second. And One Punch Man is my third. I know I talk shit about Dragon Ball Super, but it still gave us It gave us Super Saiyan God. Once it got Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, it was like, why did a Super Saiyan God going Super Saiyan should be more exciting. 2016. Try to get to it. A release is from 2016 that I watched. Hold on, let me. Does it work if I do that? My camera goes blurry sometimes. There we go. Ajin, which is on Netflix. These people are able to summon like these like I don't know. Could you say stands? Like a shadow type of stand. They kind of have a mind of his own if you don't know how to control them, and they may like get you out of there. All Out was the what is that sport? Rugby anime. Still fire. I didn't finish it. I don't think they did finish it. It's another one of those things that like it probably didn't catch on like it was supposed to, and they didn't want to finish it. But All Out was it was a rugby anime, and it was simply a high school team just trying to be the best. And of course you have the main character who's like kind of on the small side, but he's got heart, and that heart reaches everybody. So everybody starts digging in and like just going beyond. This one is the new Berserk. You know what's crazy? The only reason I put this up there because I didn't watch the older Berserk that came out before this one. The newer Berserks that came out. Guts, man. He goes through. He literally is going through hell. Again, this is what. Oh, really? That's what came out. Damn. Beyblade Burst, Bungo Stray Dogs, Dimension W, Divine Gate, Drifters. Drifters was nice. It was like warriors coming. Certain warriors would die, and these were like actual warriors in real life, but they just brought them over to a fictional story. They would die, but they would go to a special, like a different type of dimension. And they would be grouped up, and they would go against like it was like humanity's warriors throughout time, and it was like humanity's like worst throughout time. Actually, I don't want to say worst because I think something stupid happens. Let's just say there's like on both sides they just have like these fighters, these warriors, or these conquerors throughout time, and there's two opposing sides that each have a certain amount. Then they go after each other. Because there was one person that was like a pilot, and he was able to show up there. Erased, man. A diamond. Let me go down here to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Diamonds Unbreakable. Fire. Would I pull over Stardust Crusaders? No, but fire. Erased, man. Old buddy had to try and save a girl from his past. Something was happening in the future, and every time he go to past, change something, go to the future, check it out, see if it did any good. Have to keep going back and forth, and he would go back he would transfer his consciousness into his kid body. As soon as he changed something and he went back to his adult body, it would drastically change something. Either not drastically or drastically change something in the future. Grimgar Fantasy and Ash. Grimgar Fantasy and Ash. Another one of those things that was pretty much like an isekai. They never finished it. It was only 12 episodes. I'm pissed at this one too. Did not finish. But it had that realistic take of the isekai. Of course, the isekais are like SAO. You see them like they got to fight or whatever. But Grimgar Fantasy Ash showed you like what weak looks like. What actually like practicing your skill looks like, and then what getting stronger looks like, because it was a group of them, like 6. They all had the classes. You know, you had your knight, you got your assassin, you got your healer mage, your red mage, which is like the destruction one, stuff like that. They were going against goblins. They were trying to go against one, and they were struggling. But then after they got the teamwork down or whatever, then they were able to go against 2. They were able to communicate better, go against more goblins. Like, it was fire. Copenhagen's Iron Fortress took a different take on zombies. these type of zombies had these cores, right, that were protecting their weak spot, which was in their chest, which was like, it was like made of like this hardened steel like crystal, and the only way to get through it was the main character's like special device that was strong enough to pierce the, he put the gun on there, it would pierce the actual crystal and get to him. Kuromukuro was it Kuromukuro is on Netflix. It's like robots from space came down, and one of the people that were able to pilot it was like frozen over time. They thawed him, and he's able to get the robot again. Stuff like that. Still cool. Magi Adventures of Sinbad, because Sinbad was dope in Magi, and then Magi, or Magi. I'll just say Magi. But this showed the beginning of Sinbad, how he got to that. Mob Psycho 100. Your boy goes, if he goes 0 to 100, then it's up. Damn, this was a tough year for stuff to come out. Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, which was fire. My Hero Academia. Let me talk about Orange real quick. Orange. The main thing about Orange, another type of thing where the main character was getting letters from the future. One of the letters was that she really wanted her younger self to help this new kid that was coming to town. And the thing was, in her time, the new kid actually, committed the ultimate, like took himself out. And she was writing letters to try to help not, because she really cared about him. And she wanted a way to try and save him. So sent letters back, and you find out she's not the only one. So that was dope. And My Hero Academia took mutants and turned on. It was showing you like what would happen if it was just X-Men, right? But what would happen if X-Men, like people developed powers all over the world. 80% of them had it. 20% didn't, but 80% of them had it. And they're not all like super like powerful abilities, but the ones who have the useful ones become heroes, or they become villains, or they become vigilantes. Vigilantes is dope if they ever animate it, which they should. And you follow Deku, who is the greatest hero of all time, but it shows you exactly how, even though he's quirkless. What's the battle here? I don't think there's a battle. Mob Psycho 100 was dope, but My Hero Academia speaks to the Marvel in me. The Marvel, the DC. But Mob Psycho 100, if I have to choose 3, is second. Erase is third. Because that shit, especially when you find out who was the reason for the girl's disappearance. That was a big year, 16. I think 18 is what had the most. Whoo, baby. I ain't take no breaks neither. Because after this, I'm going to bed. Releases in 2017. Black Clover. You know about Black Clover. Black Clover, I don't care what Noah says. It's like a Naruto clone except with magic. Old buddy Asta doesn't have any magic. He's like weak at it, but he gets anti-magic abilities from a certain like demon power. And that anti-ability, like, he had no magic, he was still training and say, yo, I want to be Wizard King. I want to be Hokage. I want to be Wizard King. Even though it seems like the world's against me. And I find this power that's going to help me become Wizard King. Even though I can't use magic, I can use anti-magic, and I'm going to use that. Which, in a sense, when you think about it, if you want someone to be your king or someone to be your grand protector, essentially, you'd want somebody who has a defense against all magic. And technically, it's anti-magic. So they did do some in the later chapters, which was like very, very Naruto. Like Blood Blockade Battlefront Beyond, very good follow-up to Blood Blockade Battlefront. Boruto, which is crazy. Boruto came out in 2017, but you got Boruto, which is Naruto's son. It shows you what happened after Shippuden. Boruto's fire, and Boruto's getting fire. Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, which if I counted Shippuden separate, I gotta count Blue 2 Vortex separate. Boruto as it is was very dope. The manga, the show, too much filling. Children of Whales was cool. Garo Vanishing Line. Again, Garo was like Kamen Rider. Kakaguri. The Gambling School. Knights and Magic was something different. Old Buddy comes back. Like he's reincarnated into a time where there's it's a fan, of course everybody who reincarnates into like a magic fantasy world, but this one has like magic mechs and stuff like that, and he knows like the ins and outs of stuff like that, and he's actually become pretty good at it. ID Zero, I think that was like a bum-ish type mech thing, or some futuristic type thing. I gotta go rewatch it again. Junie Tyson, do not sleep on Junie Tyson. If you have not watched Junie Tyson, please go watch it. It is literally 12 people having a free for all, and the last person standing gets any wish they want. Any wish they want. Okay, any wish. But the catch is, the dope thing is each contestant follows one of the zodiac signs, and that's their theme and somewhat fits their power. Not only that, but so you got the 12 zodiac signs, 12 contestants, and there's also only 12 episodes, which I found to be dope. What we got? Kakaguri, Knights of Magic, Little Witch Academia. I'm not gonna talk about it. Little Witch Academia. Like it says, it's an academy for like witches, for actually like, witches are, girls are witches, boys are warlocks. So this is a school for witches, and it follows the girl she's had like a little bit of magic, but once she finds like this super powerful like staff that was wielded by the witch that inspired her, then she starts to go on this like different type of adventure. A cute little anime. I'm not gonna hold you. If I have to have a top 50, it might be in top 50. The Reflection was horrible. Another one of those things where like, grand event happens called the Reflection. It's like something happens, giving certain people power and turning others. The fuck is that? Giving certain people power and turning other people into. Sorry, once I see a spider, my foot. I'm gonna have to edit that out either. I just have to figure out what the hell's going on. Do I have to edit that out? No. If there's one thing about me, and my thing with insects is that insects ain't paying me no rent. You know what I mean? You want to get your spider on? I feel you. Give me some pocket change. You want to be in here rent free? Crawling all over my wall? Hell no. If I gotta pay money to be in here, so do you. But the Reflection, the animation was awful. I don't know why they took that. It would have been cool if it was animated just a tad bit better, but no. So what is it for me? It's between Black Clover, Boruto, Junie Tyson. I can't even lie to you. It's gonna be Junie Tyson. If you watch Junie Tyson, you'll understand that Junie Tyson is fire. But it'd be Junior Tyson, Black Clover, and Boruto for me for my top three out of that. 2018, baby. AICO Incarnation. Netflix anime. It was okay. Be the Beginning, another one, like a detective thing, but weird stuff's going on with this particular person. Baki the Grappler 2018. Now we talking about something. Okay. Talking about my package. Man. Baki the Grappler. 2018's Baki the Grappler, showing on Netflix. I don't think I'm gonna have to keep looking. I don't think I'm gonna have too much competition with that one. Cells at Work, Osmosis Jones, but they actually look like people, and it's a little better, the better concept. Darling in the Franxx, people hated it. I understand it because it is weird, like the way that the robots are piloted, right? Because the Franxx, they call the robots the Franxx, right? And Franxx usually have the look of like a female type of figure. And let me close this window. Female figure. The robots are piloted in pairs of two. A boy and a girl, essentially. And it's the way that they have it positioned. Like, it's definitely weird. They tell you the reason, like, why they choose them and what's going on, but understand that. But otherwise than that, Darling in the Franxx was cool to me. Devilman Crybaby. That shit was fire. I'm a devil man. They call it Devilman Crybaby too, because there was called Devilman. It came out long before. He looked cool. This one, Devilman Crybaby, it was because the way that he was going about certain things and like how much he cared, he would actually start crying sometimes during flights, and it fits. Devilman Crybaby. Dragon Pilot. It's funny because in this world, dragons do exist, but to hide their existence and to keep them from getting hunted and stuff, what they did was they hid them. They outfitted them with like plane like armor. It was like a weird concept. They outfitted them in a like plane like armor, and like you see like the jets and stuff, like they would like fold their arms in a little bit and like their tail, and they would become the plane. And they had this certain energy that would help them to like propel. The pilots would, if I'm not mistaken, the pilots would not get eaten, but they would get swallowed by the dragon and kind of enter their headspace. And it would be, they could see everything the dragon sees. So it would be able to help them out that way. It was a cool concept. Fully Cooley Progressive, keeping up with Fully Cooley. I kind of fell off. I'm not gonna hold you. Gundam Build Divers was cool because they kind of they would have their Gunpla, which is like pretty much you build the Gundams and then, if I'm not mistaken, you would scan it on the machine and you would be able to control it. Hero Mask, no, the Netflix one. Netflix had a lot. Ingress. JoJo Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind, baby. Junji Ito collection. It was like this. It was 2018. Yeah, this was like this horror, like shorts type of collection thing. It was very well done. Very well done. Last Hope is another mech. Lupin the Third Part 5. Lupin Third Part 5 was very good, very beautiful to see like updated animations of Lupin. Still up to his antics. I still think that is the inspiration for One Piece. Man, if you ain't seen Megalobox, listen, if you like boxing, you'll love Megalobox. I'll just put it like that. You got Serious the Jake. No, not that one. Let's just say Megalobox. Oh, buddy had a lot of heart. Serious the Jaeger or Jaeger. Jaeger. SSS Gridman. It was a weird type of thing where the kid kind of transformed into the actual robot that would help save the city. Sword Art Online, Gun Gale Online, and Alicization. Okay, Alicization took me a while to get into. I seen the episode, some of the, like half the season's episodes. I left, I came back. Gun Gale was like a short thing to get into, but it was easy. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Look, we're gonna ignore Tokyo Ghoul Re. They messed my boy up. Violet Evergarden was very beautiful. It was like a woman that was involved in the war a lot. It was one of those things where like real people go through, like I went through, like you're in not necessarily a war, but you're in the military and you're literally trained to do as you're told. People tell you what to do, where to go, what you're supposed to do tomorrow, what you're going to do the next day after that. You got a couple of tasks to complete, a whole bunch of stuff, right? But what happens after that when you can no longer partake in it? If there's a war going on, but you can no longer partake in it, or let's just say the war is over, and especially at that time, you know, sent home. Especially if you're really injured, you're sent home. You have to adjust to normal life. You have to adjust to civilian life, and that's what the main character, Violet Evergarden, does. Very beautiful, very beautiful. If I have to choose, let me see this. Oh, it's gonna be Baki the Grappler. Baki the Grappler. If I have to choose three, holy shit. Baki the Grappler, Megalobox. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. And I say that time I got reincarnated as a slime because that was a dope isekai concept. That, and I think this is the one that started like the long titles for isekai. But that time I got reincarnated as a slime was he literally started as a slime. You're like, oh damn, he started out as one of those weak things, but he found out like, yo, when I absorb stuff, I gain skills, or I gain their skills, I get stronger. So he just kept eating certain things. He kept combining stuff to get skills, be better, and definitely dope. All right, we're getting towards the end, okay? Because the previous ones was the bulk. I think 2018 had like the, was it? Yeah, 2018 was the one I had to get through the most. 19, Cannon Busters. Another black anime they tried. It didn't work. Demon Slayer. We know about Demon Slayer. Oh, this one might be different. Oh, revisions? Revisions. Why does that sound familiar? I mean, I watched it, but it's so many anime. I want to look. It's not that important. Because I know it's going to be down to Cannon Busters. You got Demon Slayer. Your boy Tanjiro trying to get Muzan. He really trying to get him. Now, and you know what's funny is Tanjiro getting his ass kicked a lot. Like, he getting saved. So when people talk about, oh man, he get his... What was the gripe they gave about Ichigo? If I'm not mistaken, he gets his ass kicked a lot. You better keep the same energy for Tanjiro. Because in a lot of instances, one for people, he'd be done. Fire Force and its connection to Soul Eater, dope. King and Ashura. King and Ashura was just like Baki the Grappler. Except it was a different type of... And they got the King and Ashura versus Baki the Grappler thing coming out. But it was like a different type of like... a vibe. Still dope though. Knights of the Zodiac. This version, like the 3D computer generated type version thing, It was okay. Mobile Suit Gundam Origin. Mobile Suit Gundam Origin told you, it's in the name. It told you the origin of pretty much how, like, the whole Gundam thing started kicking off. Like, they show you how the Gundams first looked. Like, they had normal, like, tanks and aircraft and stuff like that in the beginning. And then they had these experimental mechs. And then once they had them, like, they hooked up to a whole bunch of cables, figure out a different power source. And then once they figured that out, putting jet boosters and stuff on it so we could go into space, and so that was fire. Revisions again, I'm gonna have to look it up. I it's nothing. The Promised Neverland, of course, is one of those anime that season 1 phenomenal, season 2 they shit the bed. They was like, you know what? And what's crazy is the Promised Neverland, you didn't have to make anything up. The manga, if I'm not mistaken, the manga was done, and they just said, we'll do our own thing. The Rising of a Shield Hero and Vinland Saga. Hold on, wait a minute. I didn't know it was going to be this much hell. The Rising of a Shield Hero. Right? Isekai thing. Well, yeah, but 4 people get brought to this world to be the heroes of it, to help defend it, right? And there's like 4 like sacred weapons or something. Like, you got like the sword. What was it, like the sword, the bow and arrow? I think it was a sword and shield, bow and arrow, like the spear or something like that. And then you had the shield, and the main character got the shield. Now, not only is the shield not like, you, of course, it's a shield. Like, you wouldn't think it's an offensive weapon. There's also like some bad juju about whoever has the shield, whoever becomes a shield hero. And he gets set up and he gets hold in the beginning. So he's on the type of time throughout the whole thing where, like, oh, people want to hold me? Forget y'all then. Now he's a good person, so he still like does what he does to help people out. But at the end of the day, he was like, dog, y'all hold me? Let's see. And Vinland Saga. Boy, man, when I tell you, the main character, whatever he could, he stayed with that antagonist. It didn't matter. Challenge him, we get beat, I'm coming back. Rolled with the group rolled with the Obza group just to always make sure that he had a chance to get his revenge, and he would challenge him every chance he got. And what's crazy is the Op wouldn't even kill him. He would battle him, you beat him, I'm like, all right, let's go sit down. Or if it was like, oh, you want to fight me? Okay. I'm gonna give you the fair one, but just go take out those people down there, or go flank, or like cause a distraction so we can do our thing. And then when we done, I'll give you one-on-one. I got you. Just to see what happens in the end. And this Vinland Saga was fire. I did fall off at some points. I'm not even gonna hold you. Some of it was boring, but overall, I will say Vinland Saga, even with some of the boring parts, still fire. For me, I will say Demon Slayer. If I have to choose 3, Demon Slayer, Fire Force, and Vinland Saga. Because I don't like how I played it, but I like how I played it at the same time, Boy. Usually I like to keep mine an hour, but damn. This is a lot of anime. Alright. 2020. We up to 2020. We went from 1971, we up to 2020. What came out? Akudama Drive, throwaway. Brand new Animal. Digimon Adventure 2020. They actually redid the whole thing, but they took a different approach. They redid Digimon Adventure, the original one. They took a different approach to it. It actually turned out pretty good. Kind of sped up some things, different animation transformations, when they transform. how they actually meet their Digimon. Cool. Dragon Quest Adventures of Dai. I didn't know. I knew of Dragon Quest. I never really. And this one came out. There was a version that came out originally, like years back. This was like a retelling of it. Wait. Ooh. This was cool. This was Dragon Quest. It was another one of those things where Akira Toriyama did like the designs for it and they used it. Drifting Dragons. This was a world where they would hunt dragons pretty much, and when they hunt dragons, they were able to sell their parts for like money and stuff. Id Invaded. Please do not sleep on Id Invaded. Id Invaded was fire. It was pretty much this detective who was able to go inside the psyche of villains. I think either you could go inside the psyche of victims to see like the pattern of what the actual killer was going to do next, or go into the killer's mind to find out where they potentially hid certain bodies. But in order for him to dive into people's psyche, he had to have that same psyche, and that's because he himself was convicted of murder, but he was able to still, because he's so useful, they put him in a specific machine, and it's like a whole Inception thing. It's like him being an Inception Sherlock Holmes, you know? You ain't even gotta explain JJK. JJK is JJK. Like, to tell you the truth, I'm gonna pick JJK. Super Crooks was dope. Super Crooks was definitely dope. It's another one of those things people have power, but they were trying to get a specific thing. I mean, they're crooks, so they're trying to steal something, and they're actually running into like certain superheroes that give them hell. Tower of God. It's fuck Rachel. It's fuck Rachel. So she's a big hater. I'm putting Rachel up there with Dio. Big hater. Big hater energy. Okay. Hater. Tower of God was good though. But I can't hold you. It lost me after a couple episodes. And then I went back and finished it. I did finish though, but JJK never lost me. That's why I give it the up and up. But I would choose JJK, ID Invaded, Tower of God if I had to choose 3. All right. 2021. What we got? Digimon Ghost Game. Cool little take on Digimon, which they were actually possessing. Depending on the Digimon, they were like possessing people, like causing people trouble. And, there's the digital world was pretty much, it looked the same as, what do you call it, parallel dimension? It was like a parallel dimension of Earth. Certain things look different, but otherwise than that. And they were able to come over to Earth through like certain portals. Eden Zero, from the same person that made Fairy Tail. Nah. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is Stone Ocean. Stone Ocean is? Know what I mean? Stone Ocean is Jojoline. Jojoline, the daughter of if I'm not, I hope I'm not getting it wrong. Yeah, Jojoline, the daughter of JoJo from Stardust Crusaders. She's in her own thing. She got blamed for like, what was it? Was it a hit and run? Like blamed for like a hit and run, put in jail. Somebody's out trying to kill her. Something happened where they stole like, the father came to visit and stole his stand. It was a whole thing, but still fire. You know, it still kept up with everything. Lupin the Third, Part 6. Lupin Third is Lupin again, and this time because he goes to a different part, it changes outfit up a little bit, but he's still, you know what I mean, he's still Lupin, still trying to get the treasure. But the animation is always that much better. Megalobox 2 didn't miss a beat since Megalobox 1. And some of the repercussions from Megalobox 1 kind of catch up in Megalobox 2, and it shows you how he still manages to box. And Mushoku Tensei, people have problems with it. Mushoku Tensei I like how they do their magic and stuff. I do see the problem with the main character here and there, but I like Mushoku Tensei. Ranking of Kings, King Bougie for life. He was whole. He was whole from birth. He was whole by his father. He was whole by people around him, and he still got that smile on. Not to mention he's mute and he's deaf, mute and deaf, and was still putting the little sign language thing. People around him learned to do sign language to help communicate with him, but it was just, man, to be hold like that and come out on top, I can't hate you. Record of Ragnarok, here's the thing. Record of Ragnarok, when it got to the fights, fire. When it didn't get to the fights, and the thing, like, I don't mind story. I don't mind explanations. But old buddy it's like somebody would throw an attack and they would stop. And they'd be like, oh man, what's the name of that attack? Oh, you know the name of the attack? The name of the attack is for this. And they would cut to like a flashback back to the regular thing. They would do a move. Man, he's used to this. Flashback, back. That's what was killing me. Especially those first couple of episodes. I was like, I can't keep my eyes open. And then it got to the good parts. I'm gonna edit this in the morning too. I'm not even gonna hold you. What do we got? Part 2, Ranking King, Shaman King reboot was okay. Skate the Infinity was pretty cool too. Skate the Infinity, people doing skateboarding at like this specific track that's like it's got these turns and people go up there to challenge people, and it's one guy who try and make his way, and there's another guy who used to be like a snowboarder and he's taking those skills into skateboarding. Sunny Boy was dumb. I'm still lost. I still don't get what Sunny Boy means. I still gotta go do. Every time I think about Sunny Boy, I still gotta go back to Wikipedia to try to figure out what the hell I watched. And Yasuke, dumpster fire. You had it. All you had to do, no. But still, they had this story. Could have did something great. Just tell this story of this, African man, ended up in Japan, ended up a samurai. Just tell that story. Tell the battles he took part of. Tell the journey of him becoming a samurai. No, they had to throw weird magic. They had to throw robots and technology that didn't fit. They had to do past things with future. Like, don't get me started. Out of these, what had me was Ranking the Kings. I can't even front with you. Because the battles that actually happened in this one, drawing style aside, animation style aside, fire. I would put Megalobox 2 as a second. And actually, Mushoku Tensei as a third. 2022 it came out. Bleach, third. Mind you, my sense of time, the fact that it started in 2022. Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War. Blue Lock, another sports anime where you're into it. Blue Lock, they trying to get the number one spot. They gotta work on teams. They gotta, do certain things that either help people or hurt people, even if they're on the same team. Chainsaw Man is cool, but for some reason I feel like they're dragging ass, and they just, you hear good things and you're like, all right, cool, Chainsaw Man, like, let's get going. But for some reason something's happened. Cyberpunk was absolutely fire. Cyberpunk almost made me want to play the actual game Cyberpunk. I didn't have any complaints about Cyberpunk. Mobile Suit Gundam, Witch from Mercury. She's got a cool Gundam. I will say that. Cool Gundam. Nothing too crazy. Spriggan is dope. boy has like a powered up suit, and he goes on to take like these weird anomalies that happen around the world. Summertime rendering is that work. Boy comes back. Boy comes back, right? He's on this island. He's finally able to get away because something happened to his parents, so he had to go with. Just so you guys know, it's 4:06. That's why my eyes look like this. I'm trying to get this out while I can. So he something happened to his parents. He goes to live with this family, and he's close to the two sisters. Then of course he grows up. After he grows up, he goes to Japan. Well, he's in Japan. He goes to Tokyo to start, his own life. Whatever. Comes back a year or two later because one of the sisters, his friends, pretty much dies. Ushio. Now, what's weird about it when he comes back is that he learns that it was like they said it was a drowning, but he learns that there were like strangulation marks on her neck. So it wasn't a drowning. This was a murder. And once more, he comes to find out. He finds out some things, but what's weird is that he also sees this. He sees Ushio. It's not her, but it's her, in a way. So there's a weird thing going on the island, and him and a couple of people are the only ones that are able to do anything about it, and it has something to do with Groundhog's Day. So I'll definitely say that. Listen, it's Bleach baby, Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War, top 3. Definitely, Summertime Rendering second and Cyberpunk third. They got it. 2023. Okay, Akuma-kun. It's like a demon who does like spirit detective stuff. He's not like all bad. No, he was adopted by a very powerful demon who he kind of does good stuff. Like the demons in this story, like some of them are bad, but then some of them are kind of good. They're just there to live life. And the main character is like this human that was raised by one, but he goes to solve cases with his friend who happens to be a demon. I think it was like Mephisto's son or something. I don't know. Still kind of cool. Bakugan. So they did Bakugan again. Right? This is like a retelling of the first one, but they kind of changed it. What was that, Dan Kuso? The original character, how he looked in the first one, they changed it. I don't agree with it. Like, I watched half of it. I was like, okay, I'm done. Blue Eye Samurai is that work. Is fire. Dope. Go watch it. Again, on Netflix. Fire. Oh, yeah. This ain't easy neither. I can't even tell you. This ain't easy. Free Run. That's it. I'm influenced by how they do magic, how the world goes. It's an elf in this world. Like a lot of stories, elves tend to live longer than any other species. So their sense of time, what's the rush? I'm timeless in a sense. But you learn not to appreciate the things around you. And this is like after she went through some big things with her original party. Now, as they're gone, she's going through this new party. She's starting to realize and think back on the time she had and actually misses those times. She's like, man, I should have lived in the moment a lot more. Like, I'm actually thankful for those times, and I'm also appreciating the time now. Good Night World. Did I just finish that? I think I did just finish that. Obviously forgettable. But, Heavenly Delusion. Heavenly Delusion was cool. Heavenly Delusion. It's another one of those things where something happens in Tokyo, in Japan. these two kids trying to maneuver their way around it. One kid is actually a boy who got stuck in his sister's body, like a brain swap or something, and the other kid is like he's like got these weird type of powers. Hell's Paradise, listen. Hell's Paradise was fire. Fire. You got these criminals, but they're like top criminals. And they were all saved for a reason to go to Hell's Island to get this life elixir. And whoever came back would get pardoned for all their crimes. And whoever didn't, whoever was left, you pretty much got executed. Or if you strayed from the path, you got executed. And it turns into something else, and it was just dope. It was dope from the back. I don't have too many complaints about it. High card, 52 cards. Each card has a specific power that people will use when they come in contact with it. Onimusha, I think it's just like the game. But, original like Demon Slaying type thing. Pluto is a twist on Astro Boy, and it is a very good twist on Astro Boy. I definitely loved it. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. It was dope. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off was dope. It was cool. Another one. It took a different approach to Scott Pilgrim. Let's see. Shangri-La Frontiers. Like this guy that likes bad video games. He actually finds one that's pretty good. Trigun Stampede. Now, I've had complaints about Trigun. But Trigun Stampede is a prequel to how Vash the Stampede becomes known by that title. It was like maybe 1 or 2 episodes. Sleep Fest. But otherwise than that, I like how it looks. Very different pace than Trigun. Zom 100, people trying to survive in a zombie apocalypse. For me, this is honestly, this is going to Free Run. Come on, I'm joking. But top 3: Free Run, Hell's Paradise, and Pluto. And of course, 2024 is still going on. To be honest with you, you can get Metallic Rouge out of here. Something to do with androids. Go Loser Ranger. It's a spin on Power Rangers. It's kind of not really getting me. Delicious in Dungeon. Check it out. It's on Netflix. It's these people trying to go back in the dungeon and save like the main character's sister. As they're going through, they don't have much, so they kind of need food. They figure out there's a way to cook certain things that come out of the dungeon, and when it starts tasting good as they're going on, they start getting more intrigued about what they can cook that's inside the dungeon. And the way that they show it, and like how they, like the one thing I like is the armor. You always have armor that like autonomous moves on its own. Well, they come to find out that there's these like there's these creatures, these small creatures that kind of dig into the armors, and they're like a colony in there. They connect together to form sort of like muscle tissue, and they work in conjunction to help move the armor as they move it. And the only thing is, the reason why they activate is because they're only protecting their nest. And wherever they're near the nest, if people get too close to it, that's when they attack. But they were cracking open like the inside plates of it, and they found them, and they were like cooking them up like mussels, and it was very interesting. But yeah, you got Kaiju number 8. Someone gets the power of the Kaiju, and I haven't been disappointed by an episode since. Saint Solo Leveling. I was disappointed because one episode, they only had 2 or 3 episodes, and the 4th episode was a flashback. I was like, yo, you haven't even done anything yet. But Sun Jung-woo snaps. Sun Jung-woo snaps and keeps snapping. And what's crazy is he's got this power where usually people are at their limits. Whatever power you give him, that's it. You can't increase that power at all. Power won't increase, power won't decrease. What you do with the power is how you get along. And he was at the lowest bottom level. And because of his bravery in a certain situation, he was able to get a power that allows him to, if he trains and does what he's supposed to, like daily objectives, he can raise his power level all the way up to S rank if he survives. And he's killing it right now. I think he's at like B rank or equivalent to the top ones in B rank. But honestly, solo leveling didn't disappoint. I give it to Kaiju number 8. And I've only got, if I choose 3, it's Kaiju number 8, solo leveling, and Delicious Dungeon. I give the Kaiju number 8 because I haven't had an episode disappoint me yet. Solo leveling, the episode where they did the flashback, dumb. But otherwise than that, solo leveling was, and the season is over, and down to that last part where he says that, people was like, oh, you gotta wait for the word arise. You kind of, it was worth the hype. A couple people like really did the most, but it was definitely a hype moment. Okay, once he said arise and a certain person bowed at his feet, that's how you know he's that guy. And this is still going, so I'll have to update it at certain points. But man, I know I just want to do. Oh, I'm messing up. I just wanted to do a. That's dope. I can edit that as I'm going. I just wanted to do a sort of like anime theme thing, anime list, and this was the longest episode I've done. Hopefully I put some people onto certain anime too by this, especially with the years and how they came out. So you'd be like, oh man, I don't want to see anything that came out before 2000, or you want to see something that came between 2010 and 2020. I didn't give you the years they came out. Styles emerged from 1977 all the way up to now. To tell you the truth, and that was not 1970. That was 1971. 50 years. I think I've gone over like 50 years of. Yeah, I've gone over like 50 plus years of anime. So I chose the ones that the release year. I chose the ones that had me, like, drew my attention the most. If it helped out, I'm tired. Okay. I didn't expect to have it this long, but something messed up early on. I had to reshoot this, and I'm dedicated. And I'm tired, but I'm dedicated. We're going to keep it pushing. If I helped you get through a shift or something, if I took up your time, you know what I mean? Thank you for listening, lending your ears. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you. I appreciate it. Please pass along the word. Your boy's trying to get the One Piece. This is episode 9. And man, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and try to get me some sleep. I hope you get you some sleep. Remember, always drink water. Mind your business. That's the key to life. And live within your means. If I could tell you anything, live within your means. I don't care if it's the finest person you come across. Do not be out here going for broke, trying to impress people, okay? Living within your means, take care of all your problems, dog. And if they don't appreciate the fact that you live within your means, they're not for you.